Hey beeholes, what is shaking today? Oh my gosh. You won't believe what just happened to me. Absolutely nothing. So that was fun. So, OMG, your face. What's wrong with my face? What's wrong with my face? Well, Britt, I know I said this already, but I did start the stream before I made a cup of coffee. It kind of was an accident because I didn't think I was technologically sound enough to make this happen, and then it happened. So, it all worked out. I don't like the new YouTube. I had to go back to the old one. But it's probably because I'm an old fuddy duddy. Yes. So, for the 4 of you who are watching, for those of you who don't know, Britt just binged the IT Crowd, which is amazing. And it's something I think everybody should do. It's really, really funny. It's good stuff. Is everybody watching Sharp Objects? Is that what it's called? Yeah, that's what it's called. My daughter's singing in the shower, and it's kind of distracting. So we'll just kind of shoot the shit here for a minute while we wait for people to show up. But because I was talking about this yesterday, and it was all the rage on the social media, let's take a look at my chain shop beanie. Now, as you can see, the eyes still kind of puff a little bit, like around the edges. And when I look at it on the side, it doesn't bother me. When I look at it head on, it's kind of weird. But I don't know if it's weird enough for me to not want to keep it like that. Should I make, or not me, obviously, because I'm not this talented, but should Zoe flatten the eyes completely? Respond now. Respond now. Respond now. Oh, it might look a little better. Okay. She always does good eyes. No on the stoop. Don't rush me, Matt. So no, don't fuck with it, huh? Unless you're Brit, and then I should fuck with it. Okay. Let's see here. Send out a tweet on my other account. What? I hope you guys can't hear my daughter singing. She will seriously come out here and try to beat my ass if she knows people were listening to her sing. She would be very upset. Good. Come on. Okay, so basically nothing's gonna be working today. It's one of those days. So that's how that's gonna go. Apparently it's some kind of dog day today. Yes, the BookTube live stream was started in error. That's where I kind of screwed the pooch. I forgot that that was probably the last live stream I did, and so it was still using the live stream key from that account. So, yes. So that might be kind of confusing. People are going to get all excited, like the 15 people that liked that. Yeah. But it's okay. So, plans for Sunday. Anyone have plans for Sunday? While you guys tell me that, I am going to show you what I started reading yesterday. Oh, so I'll probably end up doing like a video on this, but I finished Barba the Slaver by, I think that's Dale Forrest. That's actually a house name, and I forgot the name of the guy who really wrote this. It's got a great Boris cover on there. Boris Vallejo. This book wasn't nearly as trashy as I thought it was going to be. I was expecting like uber trash. And it was very historical, I guess. I don't know if it's accurate. I'm pretty sure Steve Donahue said this is the most historically accurate depiction of ancient Rome that he could ever remember reading. But yours is already gone. Your Sunday's already gone. Well, did you have a good weekend then? Britt was ready for D&D. No D&D this week either. No. Yeah, Devin just got back from vacation, and he is beat, and he's got a lot of stuff he's got to catch up on. I could tell you guys every once in a while to roll me an initiative or something like that while I'm talking, because that's not going to drive everybody crazy. So yeah, Barba the Slaver, I'm going to continue this series if I could find the books, but it's like about a family, like not a family, but 3 brothers and 2 sisters who are from Britain, who their father gets kind of bamboozled by Romans when they're up there, and he ends up taking his 5 children and selling them into slavery when he gets back to Rome. And they kind of all go their separate ways, and it's just about like how they kind of react to being slaves and what happens to them in that period. And I'm not sure, but I would assume that the rest of the books follows that family still, but I don't know if that's necessarily the case. So that was better than I thought it was going to be. But if you're expecting like super duper trashy, like it's not what that is. I started one Fearful Yellow Eye by John D. MacDonald, a Travis McGee novel. And it starts off strong, like most of his stuff. And I'll tell you, I didn't realize how much I missed John MacDonald's writing until I started reading it. Basically, and I know I've bitched about it in the past, but how like flowery the prose is. And it's not like flowery, it's just like if you read a lot of pulp stuff, this is flowery. And it was just refreshing to hit that up. So I was like really excited to get going on that. And then I started Conan of Aquilonia finally. So the L. Sprague de Camp and Lynn Carter Conan stories. And The story I'm reading right now is called, if I could get the pages to turn, The Witch of the Mists. And he's already king, and it's about his son, really, more than anything else. And guess what original name Conan gave his son? It's not Junior. It's Con. Conn. So that's not great. It's okay. I just don't really care at the minute. So, and it's written well. I thought the writing was going to be really subpar, but it's been okay. But I wonder who the mom is. That's the real question. So that's going to be kind of a fun little stint. So yeah. On the stoop, what have you done this weekend? If you, because I have questions that need answers. No, it's fine. I'll wait. It's okay. I'll just sit here and wait for you to tell me when you're ready. No big deal. We'll just hang out. Eric, hey, I have not read any V.C. Andrews, but I have been tempted. See, I'm very tempted because, and how is that? We were gonna watch Flowers in the Attic the other night and just ended up not doing it. But I really, like, within the last year, I don't remember exactly when she did it, but she finished the Blackwater series. And that's like a horror series. And we were talking about it, and she was saying how she felt like it had kind of the same flavor, like the family dynamic. And since I'm such a big sucker for like Days of Our Lives, I thought that would also ha ha ha. I got a Voxer message. I've read the first Blackwater book. It was pretty good. I need to go back for more. Yeah, women. Totally. There's this Twitter account, or was it Instagram? No, I think it's Twitter. And it kind of, I can't remember the name of it. It's like Pulp Library or something like that. And the backs of like the 70s that I think it was mainly Avon that put them out. But all of them had, like, it feels like all of the, I'm going to turn this off. It feels like all of the V.C. Andrews stuff was very much inspired by those novels. But again, I don't know for certain. But they definitely have that feel to me. Like, I feel like it's like a Days of Our Lives mixed with gothic romance from the 70s. And they just did, I posted a thing about it yesterday. They did an article about witchcraft and fiction, like the witchsploitation books of like the late 60s to mid 70s. Hey Liz, I just saw your Voxer message, so I will check that in a sec. But yeah, and I'm a sucker for die cut covers. So even when I was a kid and I would see the V.C. Andrews books like at the grocery store, I would always open them up because I was like, oh my gosh, look at this. Oh my gosh, there's a ghost. And so I always had this like fascination with them. But it just seems like I don't like to start a series and then not finish it. And it feels like if I start it, even if I don't really like it, I'm going to end up reading at least all the books in that first series. And I'm telling you, man, if those books suck, I'm going to be. You'll hear all about it, but I will end up reading all of them and hate my life the whole time. So, yeah, if they're sort of twisted, then that's okay. I could dig on that. If you guys haven't seen, like I think it was like the first like 80, I want to say, episodes of Dark Shadows before Barnabas got there, you're missing out. And I know that those episodes are like really frowned upon by fans and stuff, but man, I really got into the story arcs that they were doing on there. I almost ruined like the main one, so I'm not going to talk about it anymore. But those are really good. It's weird because like Zoe, coming from England, obviously, she has like a love of the English Gothic castle stories, like what was that one? The Woman in Black. Any any of those types of stories. But for some reason, those are okay and I like them. But I really dig like New England manor houses with a family heritage that only goes back like 100 years or something like that. I really like dig those a bunch, and so we don't bump heads about it, but like that is definitely something that we don't see eye to eye on. But she's pretty much open to anything. I don't know if the writing was good. I feel like B.C. Andrews is sort of like bad romance writing. Ooh. Bad Romance is like one of my favorite Lady Gaga songs, so that might work really well for me. Do you see how I'm trying to make this work? I'm trying to find any way to make this an okay thing. Yeah. Well, there you go. But like again, I was saying the other day, I think just the first series and the first book of the second series were the only ones she actually wrote. And there's some dude, I could look it up if my phone wants to cooperate with me. Let me see if my phone will cooperate. Cooperate. I think that's one of the hardest words to say. Cooperate. No, that's not what I typed. Jeez. Okay, let's see here. Family saga involving incest, rags to riches. Andrew Niederman has written pretty much everything else. Let's see here. Is it going to tell me how many she actually wrote? No. Okay, so the first 4 books in the Flowers in the Attic series she wrote, and Garden of Shadows at least was finished by Andrew Niederman. And then she wrote My Sweet Audrina, and the next one was finished by Niederman. The 5 novels making up the last series. Okay, so she wrote Heaven and Dark Angel. And the Castile series. And then he basically wrote everything else. So, yeah, like he's written a grip of books under her name. Let's see. Is it fun bad romance or good bad romance? Oh, wait, I missed a comment here by Liz. Oh, wait, Eric said, I think it was Donald Westlake who said, a gothic is a story about a woman who inherits a house. Yeah, and then she usually will fall in love with the guy and then find out he's a ghost. Or something like that. And that usually kind of makes everything go to shit. There's a podcast, Literary Disco, that did an episode about Flowers in the Attic. It was hilarious. They trashed it. Yeah, the did I say Niedermeyer or Niedmeyer? I don't know. Let's see. I like your masks, Matt. What are they for? Oh, those are, I was going to start putting those in all of the weird mask issues. So, like, whatever issue you have, there would be, like, a paper cutout mask of that cover that you could have and put on just for, like, a fun little thing to have. But I went through a printer Armageddon last week, and things got really nasty. Yeah, and that's another thing. A lot of people who I know read Flowers in the Attic read it when they were, like, really young, and I don't know why anyone on God's green earth would let somebody read that book when they're young. And, like, because I saw the movie, and I know the movie's the movie and not the book, but I saw it a long time ago. I wasn't super young, but, like, I even thought, I'm like, ugh, like, this is pretty, yikes. Yeah, I'm gonna just go out on a limb and assume Britt's talking about my printer is tragic. Yeah. I, too, was very popular with teen girls in the 80s. Boom. No, but seriously. What happened was, my main printer, we have this big Epson, because Zoe does a lot of art, and she would do, like, art prints on really nice paper. Well, that's good that it didn't bum you out or bother you at all. So we have this big giant printer, and we've had it for like 3 years, and the color started not working. It was like clogged, or the heads were clogged, or something was fucked up, and it wouldn't print color. So when I started doing the zines, they were just in black and white. The Weird Mask zine was just in black and white. Then the black wasn't printing, and it said I needed to clean the heads or something. So I cleaned the heads and did all the stuff I was supposed to do. And then all of a sudden, like, it just went, and, like, the whole unit inside froze, and it wouldn't do anything. And it was basically going to cost like $200 to fix it if I took it somewhere to get fixed. So we had that Zine Fest coming up that was yesterday, actually. And so we had like 5 days, and so we just got a printer that was like $50 on Amazon. It's the HP NV something or another. And it showed up, and everything seems to be okay. I print one of the new zines, and it looked amazing. It's right there in my He-Man slime pit. Boom, yeah. And what ended up happening was I printed one whole issue and started printing the second issue and ran out of ink. And I was like, what? I'm like, oh, that must have been like a starter ink kit. So I live up in the mountains. There's not a whole lot of places I could go to get stuff. So I went to like Kmart. They didn't have anything. I went to Walgreens. They didn't have anything. I go to CVS. They had the ink. And they had like this like dual pack. And I'm like, I'll just get the dual pack of the black and the color, because I'll probably run out of color eventually too. So let's just do it. No big deal. Get the ink, come home, put it in, go to print a zine. It prints one zine and like 3 pages of another one and is out of ink again. And I'm like ready to lose my shit. I have it on draft mode. I have it, there's no grayscale setting on the new printer. So it's like everything that's black, whether it's just text or whatever. It is so, it like looks like this. It's like, just like as dark as night on a moonless night kind of thing. So I went back to CVS and they only had one more ink cartridge, so I brought the ink cartridge home. So now I've spent more money on ink than I have on the printer. I print one more zine, and then I started printing covers for the third, like issue 3. I was going to put new covers on them. And and as those were printing, I ran out of ink again. So in one day, I went through 3 black ink cartridges and 1 color cartridge. And I'm like, fuck this shit. So I called Epson. I'm like, look, fix my fucking printer. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what's wrong with it. My Epson, the old one. And so Epson said if I mail them my printer, they will send me a new printer. And that was that. So I'm going to get a free new printer. And that's awesome. I just have to ship mine back and then wait for that other one to get here or whatever. So that could take forever. So let's get into the comments here. Housewives. Yeah, I remember more of my friends' parents reading V.C. Andrews. I remember my mom reading them. The Thornbirds, the Richard Chamberlain effect. I know nothing about the Thornbirds. What is that? I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is. The only thing I could think of, and those of our younger watchers will know what I'm talking about. There was some cartoon on, I think, Nickelodeon about a family that like lived in the jungle and shot like a TV show about nature. So whenever I hear Thornbirds, that's what I think of. But I can't remember the name of that cartoon. I probably have shared this story before, but my mom only read Agatha Christie and Danielle Steele. And we had this like entertainment center kind of thing, like with the TV and all of these VHS tapes. And there was like these 2 shelves, and one shelf was like filled with Agatha Christie books, and the other shelf was filled with Danielle Steele books. And as I got older, the Well-Oiled Thornberries. Bye. Take care. So she told me that live stream. You could go through and go in the kitchen and do whatever you want. No, go ahead and ask. Everyone wants to know. Everybody wants to know how you're doing. Whenever I feel like it. What do you want?
Avi and I wanted to have a movie day because he wanted to show me the movie tag and I wanted to show him a really good Japanese tag.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Tag?
Tag?
Yeah. But I mean is later because you got me over.
Yeah, possibly. Okay. So anyway, that was actually Shay. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the printer should be here soon. Thornbirds is a family saga set in Australian outback, was made into a TV series. Or Richard Chamberlain is a hot priest. Oh my gosh! That's right, because my friend Charlie has pictures of Richard Chamberlain as a hot priest. And, oh, where were we? We were at Panda Express and saw Richard Chamberlain there. And he had like a total knip and was going to go talk to him. And then when he went up to talk to him at the soda machine, he said something stupid. I can't remember what he said, but he came back and he was really mad at himself. So that's pretty funny. Yeah, so back to my mom and her Danielle Steele. She would just read until something got trashy, and then she would just turn the page. And usually by the time she turned the page, like the trashy bit was gone. So she would miss little bits. Linus, is that Roach? Or Roche? Is the hot priest from me. What is Linus from? He was like the Mr. Darcy of that era. The book was better than the miniseries. The book for the Thorn something or the V.C. Andrews stuff. From the movie Priest. So, I was going to say to you guys, I did a video the other day, I think it was yesterday, where I was getting rid of books. So, if anybody wants those books, let me know, because I'm going to be getting rid of them. So, I do have some V.C. Andrews here, if anybody wants them. I got 2 of these. Twilight's Child from the Cutler series, and this beat to shit book, Secrets of the Morning. See, it's like die cut. I always open these to look at them. Does anybody want these? Anybody at all? Super fun. Which I have no idea, actually. I don't know if they're good or not at all. And I have a ton of Mickey Spillane here, if anyone is interested. And some of these, 1, 2, 3, 4... 4 of them out of this pile are from the pre-Jehovah's Witness Mike Hammer books. So those ones are actually really good. So if anybody's interested. I got some Jeffrey Deaver, some Frank Herbert, some P.D. James, some weird sci-fi stuff, some weird horror stuff, horror thriller. So, yeah. If anyone is interested. Here, let me ask you guys this. Has anyone read The Island by Peter Benchley? I read Jaws and I read The Deep. And The Deep was so not what I thought it was going to be that I don't know what to even think about this. So yeah. So if anyone's read this, I would love to know what you guys thought about it. And those 2 I'm starting. Oh, and then this is another thing. Oh wait, I wanted to ask if the movie Island has anything to do with it. I have no interest in reading any other Benchley. On that cover, it does say it's going to be made into a major motion picture. So I'm guessing like late 70s, early 80s, they may have done a movie about it. Um, so yeah, there could be that. The other thing I wanted to ask is I had some people ask about Agathon because last September, if you were around, um, we did a Agatha Christie read along, or not read along, but just like a readathon, like read as much as you possibly can. Um, and then I was talking to Mark at Richardson Reads about it. There's a film of Benchley's Island directed by Michael Ritchie, sorry, Michael Caine. Oh, Michael Caine. Michael Caine. I might watch it just because Michael Caine is in it. Michael Caine. My Michael Caine voice is up and down. Sometimes it's better than others. But anyway, we were talking about doing some other kind of read along this time, maybe. Maybe do an Edgar Rice Burroughs thing. Maybe do a Raymond Chandler thing. Maybe do a. I don't know. I mean, I guess like every weekend I could do a different one if that's something anyone gives a shit about. Um, like do like a Travis McGee thing one weekend, an Edgar Rice Burroughs thing another weekend, or do like if we're gonna get crazy on Edgar Rice Burroughs, do like Tarzan, Barsoom, Pellucidar, Caspak. That would be fun as shit. I would enjoy that a bit. Um, Larry Block. Is that question like doing like a Lawrence Block thing? Or are you talking about the books in my box? Because I do think I got this Transgressions that it's edited by Ed McBain, has a story by Lawrence Block and a story by Jeffrey Deaver. If anyone's interested in this. Yeah, Dash. See, I would like to read more. I don't want to like necessarily say more Dashiell Hammett. I think I need to give the Sam Spade stuff a better chance. Because I didn't write it off, but I just like the Continental Op better. So I kind of just, I didn't shit on it, but I just like it. It didn't knock me over the way the Continental, like Red Harvest is such a fucking good book. Like the Red Harvest was so good that when I read Maltese Falcon, I was like, oh my god, this is painful. And I might be one of the rarities when it comes to that, but that is something. And Eric, I have not checked out 8 Million Ways to Die, but a block read along, that would be kind of cool. Where would you suggest people start? And this is another thing, like I have a bunch of novels of his, like the burglar novels or whatever. But I haven't checked in a long time, so I don't know. But I don't know where it starts, so I don't want to jump into it without like reading them in order. But I don't know if you have to read those in order. But I'm definitely an order reader. For people who want something on the lighter side of the burglar books. Yeah. So for a noir readathon, what do you think should be like 5 books? If it was like, we're going to read these 5 books, you would definitely have to have some like staples of the genre in there, and probably some easy to find but more obscure. So what would you throw in on that? Um, I I like The Postman Always Rings Twice, but Double Indemnity, I think, is a... I don't necessarily think it's an easier read, but I kind of think it is. I don't know another way of putting it. And I think that one is super easy to get. You could get that anywhere. Boom. Totally. Would you do The Killer Inside Me on the Jim Thompson one? Ross McDonald, what would be... I don't have a ton of Ross McDonald. I have the Lou Archer short story collection. And I have The Barbarous Coast. And yeah, those two. And those like had... both of those had movies come out with kind of decent stars when they were originally released, right? Let me see if I could pull that up. Let's see here. Oh shit, I went too far, hang on. My computer is doing things without me. Actually should have went back. You guys probably already have answered the question. Oh my god. I hope this doesn't like crash my whole computer. Hang on. Nothing's happening there. Okay. Oh, wait. Uh... Now, for me, if I was putting that list together, uh, it would end up being like, oh, bye. Have fun in San Diego. I'm trying to think of what. I don't know if I would put. I don't know if I would put Ross McDonald in, and that's just because, or maybe I would because I haven't read as much. Huh. Okay, now are you going to work with me here, or are you going to be a jerk again? Uh-oh. My stream's fading. Yes, reopen, you idiot. Yeah, I could see that. Now, Eric, do you like Donald Westlake's stuff more as Donald Westlake or as Stark? Ow. Frackin' hell. My knee is so banged up. Let's see. Come on. There we go. Ah! Where'd it go? There it is. Okay. Savage Knight and Swell Looking Babe. Population 1280. A Hell of a Woman. And yeah, those are the only Jim Thompson books I've read. Besides Killer Inside Me. We did it for a weekend, which is kind of stupid, but I didn't know if anyone was going to want to do it at all. So I didn't want to put all this effort into doing like a big old readathon and then have nobody do it. So I thought if I made it just like pretty chill and just like do a weekend and maybe read a few of them or a couple of them. Yeah, people just pick their own. I think Amy at from the Dusty Bookshelf I think she won as far as how many she read. I think she read more than anybody. But yeah, like most of those Agatha Christie books, um, you can jam through in an afternoon. So, like, I read like two on Friday, two on Saturday, and one on Sunday. And I think Amy read two a day, and one day she read three. Um, so that was pretty hardcore. Let's see here. Yeah, David Goodis, I'm not um, huge on. Uh, Gil Brewer, I'm a lot more familiar with. Let's see. Cornell Woolrich. Charles Williams. I think you said Charles Williams a little bit ago, Eric. Oh, Harry Whittington is like one of my favorites, but he's kind of, I don't want to say he's super obscure, but he is like his stuff's really hard to get a hold of unless you're just ordering shit off of Abe or Amazon or something. Um, but yeah, maybe I'll do like a. Um, I really would like to do an Edgar Rice Burroughs thing just to like force people to read Edgar Rice Burroughs, but this sounds cool too. Because like if we were to do, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Stark House and 280 Steps, which isn't around anymore, has reprinted a lot of his stuff. But again, like for people who like go into like Barnes and Noble and shit like that to pick books up, like the chances of them finding any of his stuff are like almost zero. I have to do fatherly things. So, yeah, take care, man. Thank you, everyone who's been hanging out. And if you have any suggestions for a read along or anything like that, especially in October, I would love to do like a more horror themed something, but I feel like everyone's going to be doing that. So let me know what you think, and I will talk to all of you soon.